with the Mark 1 Transit, only because I've got a Mark 2 long wheelbase at home, which I've had for 26 years, so we'll find out how long this gentleman's had this vehicle.
1969, early in 1969 it went on the road, January 68, and it went maybe 12 months to avoid purchase tax. Second engine, first engine had the usual V4 problems of head gaskets, and this engine went in 1984, and it was from a Corsair. Same engine obviously, the same Essex engine, except this is high compression as opposed to the possibly low compression that it was before. Used in the family building business until 1998, and God knows how many miles, because we're on 16,005 at the moment, but it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, they're certainly a good workhorse. And tell us, can you remember how much you paid for it?
I think it was £425, but I'm not entirely sure on that. There's a lot of things now that I would like to know. That if you knew how long you was going to have something, I would like to know how many miles it done. I can do an estimate, but that's not the true mileage. Now the paperwork doesn't go back to 1969, unfortunately.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. And looking at it, was it originally a different colour?
No, it's always been blue. This was this sort of mushroom. It was something that was in the shed once on a Saturday afternoon, but now it's always been blue. Right,
the reason I asked that, ladies and gentlemen, the interior being a different colour, if you have a classic and you change the colour of the vehicle, it virtually makes it worthless overnight if it isn't as the logbook. So you can see this is totally genuine, but I know that from my own experience. It's in its working clothes. Thank you very much for spending the time. Are you going to tell us a little bit about your vehicle, sir? I'll pass you the mic and you can tell us all about yours.
This is a Leyland Beaver. It's a 1948 Beaver. It used to belong to the area health people, and it would have run in the north of England, pulling a generator on a trailer very much the same as what's behind it now, on the TV campaign in the 50s. It's come from Lewis Weaver at Craven Arms Shrewsbury. That's where I've had it, only for about 7 years. It's got living quarters on the back, and as you can see, it's got a big nudge bar on the front for pushing the trailer in and out of places where you can't get into.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's obvious we all drive forward better than we reverse, and in particular, if you've got a trailer, that is what it's used for, and that's commonplace on tractors and lorries, anything where we have to move anything. Thank you very much. When you say accommodation on the back, how many would that sleep? 2, so, yeah. And are they barrels on the back of beer or what? You wish they were, you'd be here for a good night. Okay, thank you very much. Right, now then, a little bit of history. We'll get this gentleman to tell you about the Thames.
Yeah, it's a 1949 Thames Sussex. It's a very rare 6-wheeler, double drive. It was originally started out in 1949 as a 4-wheeler, and a professional proper firm actually transferred it into a 6-wheeler.
How long have you owned the vehicle?
About 4 years, still ongoing projects like.
Tell me to mind my own business, but could we have an indication as to the value of something like this?
I should imagine probably 10 or 12, something like that. It's hard to say really, it depends how much somebody really wants it like. I believe the lad with the Thames on the end has been after it for a bit, but I won't sell it to him.
As you can see, they're all good friends together. Yeah, there you go. Well, we can always have an auction, we can see how we get on, you know. Yeah, and it's a 6-wheeler, yeah. Yeah. And living accommodation again. Yeah, very interesting. Right, now then, this one alongside. Now this looks very impressive with the grass on the back and everything else. So we'll get the gentleman to tell us what's different about this one, sir. Oh, there we go. Look at this. He's done this right. This is a BER 1940, 1936 Albion KL 127. The lorry was purchased new by H.J. Piper of Longstow, Cambridge in 1936. It was used to carry coal and general haulage and had the same driver, Reg Webb, for 25 years. It was commandeered along with Reg into the army in 1940 and was used to transport flour from the railway station to a bakery and also to do deliveries around the camp. It was then passed back into general haulage in 1943 and used until the early 1960s. Following this, it was parked up for several years before being sold into preservation in the 1970s after a storm blew the shed down and damaged the cab. It had a couple of owners before being acquired by Martin Cutts of Bolsover in 2003. Martin completed the restoration and it was then purchased by Alan Williams from Middle in Shropshire and was resprayed. The living accommodation on the back was built by Alan in the spring of 2012. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, this is Alan Williams, and thank you very much for sharing that with us. And tell us, do you go and use the accommodation to good effect?
Yes, we do quite often. On the shore, have a pint or two and go to sleep.
There you go, they all seem to enjoy a pint and a sleep. Right, now then, the windscreen, the split windscreen will open. We'll get this gentleman to tell us a little bit about this one.
It's an Austin K2, 1937. She was built in this guise as a recovery truck for an Austin dealership. It then got requisitioned by the Army, so they had it during the Second World War, and then she went back to the original Austin dealership until they laid it up. And then it went into preservation end of the 80s, got done up like this, and they started rallying it about 92. And then the gentleman retired, sold it down to a museum in Cornwall, and then the museum shut down and I acquired it from the museum. It's a straight six petrol engine. It's about 60 horsepower on a good day downhill with the wind behind it. It's about 38 mile an hour flat out, 3 litre engine, 4-speed box.
So why I've asked him to tell you that, ladies and gentlemen, it just shows you what small amounts of horsepower were in these vehicles many years ago. We don't realise how things have progressed over the years, do we? Right, 4 gentlemen here. Who's the one that wants to buy the lorry? This one here, right. Now then, what do you reckon this Thames is worth over your friends then?
Oh, he's hard to deal with, you know. It's
Well, you tell us why yours is a better vehicle than his then.
because I like it more than his.
No, tell us a little bit about the vehicle, please, sir.
It's a 1954 Fordson D4 and EG6. It's just gone on its second restoration. Obviously, built living accommodation in the back. It's wedded. It owned 40 years. A couple of farmers out in Droitwich. And he's found in the scrapyard. That's come on from there.
Well, there you go, another find in the scrapyard. Can't be much left in these scrapyards these days. All these lovely... an ERF, we're all familiar with that, and North Shropshire, who's the proud owner? Tell us a bit about you.
Well, it's built 1968 and it was new to laws of Paddockwood, Kent, and all his working life it worked for the NAFI, delivering meat to Germany, Sardinia. There was actually a film made about it in 1971, but otherwise I don't know a lot about it. Like, I've owned it about 10 years and I've just had it rebuilt again now, brand new engine in it. Yeah.
How much would a tractor unit like that be worth?
I don't know, but I've just spent 45,000 on it. Yeah.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I just said to him, what would it be worth? And he's just spent £45,000 on it to get it in that condition. So, and a film star as well. So, there we are. Right, we'll walk down to the other